Hey guys, Skis here, back with another Bitcoin video. So Bitcoin currently sitting at 67.4. Over the past few days, we've been getting a really nice pump, and we took out the 66.5K previous high that we had before we got the sell-off down to 58.9. And now we're currently sitting at the resistance level that has been resistance ever since we set the all-time high at 73.8K. That Bitcoin is now tested five, 6 times. This is the sixth attempt Bitcoin has had trying to get above it. We haven't gotten above it. And I think that there is a good chance that maybe we just consolidate here or go slightly down and then Bitcoin is able to break up. And that's really what I want to see, especially coming into the second half of October and also just coming into the election as well really soon. And I think that seasonality is playing as well. Like, I think this is a really, really good chance for Bitcoin to really break up. I don't know if it will, but if it were to do it at some point, I think now would be a really good time. I mean, we've been consolidating for an extremely long time. If we take it from, this candle here on February 28th till now, 232 days, which is so insane because that's even longer than the last consolidation we spent last year. And speaking of last year's consolidation, I actually want to go back to it just to talk about it briefly because I actually find it somewhat similar to what we're doing now. So this was last year's. We've always spoken about it before, but it was around 220 days of consolidation. So this consolidation this year has been even longer than this one, and I thought that this one was just taking forever, but we even had a longer one a year later. But what's really interesting about this is that on October 16th, which is today's candle, or technically yesterday's candle, but exactly 1 year ago, we got this green candle. This green candle here that has this really big wick. That was exactly a year ago on October 16th. And it was kind of the candle that started the move, this upward movement. And then what we actually did was we first, had a wick, a big candle wick, and then we consolidated for 2 days. And then like Bitcoin ended up pushing through. And this is, lining up literally a year ago. And this is actually also coming off of a super long consolidation of 220 days. So if we take it back to where we are now, we're kind of doing something similar. I mean, this week today on October 16th, the candle is not as big as, or the wick's not as big as last year, but, we're coming up to resistance around the same time. So maybe what we do here is just consolidate here slightly for a day or two, or maybe it could be a little bit longer. Maybe, we do get a little bit of a sell-off over the next few days, or maybe it's like slightly sideways, and then maybe we can get the push up. So that's something I'm looking for. I don't know if it's going to play out like that, but that's what we did last year, and it was just crazy. Bitcoin was going absolutely crazy, and the markets are going really crazy. So it's something I really like to see. It's something I'm looking out for, but the biggest thing is really just getting above this resistance and, maybe flipping it as support and then going. So that's really what I'm looking for. What could stop it? I think that there are some things that could stop it, maybe just like macro conditions, like wars, like in the Middle East, just like crazy things like that you can't really predict. So I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I think something like that could stop it. I think that the data, so the next unemployment data is coming out on November 1st. And actually what's interesting is that the last unemployment data came out better than expected. And I think that was one of the reasons why we actually got to push up. So, hopefully we get good data here on November 1st. What I find really interesting is that the election is November 5th, and this is coming out on November 1st. So this is just random speculation on my part. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen, but, maybe the data comes out favorable because the election is 4 days later. And then if it does come out favorable, definitely I think Bitcoin would like really be in a move up. And then it's like the elections are also like 4 days later, and I think that could also be a catalyst for Bitcoin to go up. So I think that Bitcoin really is looking good. I think there's a couple things we have to look out for, like I said, like the data, just macroeconomic stuff. But apart from those things, I really think Bitcoin's going to go up. maybe we do get a slight rejection here for a little bit, but I think right now with seasonality and just the 4-year cycle and then the elections coming up and just how Bitcoin typically moves at this time in its cycle, it should really go up. I think the default movement for Bitcoin right now should be up, and it should only really get a really big like sell off down if there's a reason to. If there's like no reason, like I really think Bitcoin's going up. So we'll have to see if that plays out or like how the data comes, and it's really soon. It's like 2 weeks away. So it's pretty exciting. And yeah, guys, just in case we do come down, I think, finding support around 65.8, 66K, where the previous high that we set is definitely the first level. If we come down a little bit lower at 62, where we found support a little bit here. And then if we do come all the way back down to 60K, that's really not what I want to see, because, that would really be like Bitcoin had a really good chance to come up here and break it, and all we do is come back down to this level for a third time. This would be like the third time. And, it would just be weaker support at this point. So we're not even down there yet, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but that's, some levels I think if we do get rejected. But I really want to see Bitcoin just hover here. It can even like slightly go down. I think that's fine. Just stay, around this area. The longer we do, I think the bigger and better chance we have of breaking up. So I'm still biased breaking up. I still think we're gonna be moving towards 100K this year, but we'll just see what happens. So, hey guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.